Well, we have made literally dozens of changes, both big and small, to help stop attacks, to help mitigate those we can't stop, and then to speed recovery if one succeeds. I think the biggest are probably the following. First, we had often been using our regular staff accounts to manage services, and as it turns out, that's a really bad practice. Those accounts are all over the place, including they have email, which makes them much more vulnerable to compromise. So we have since moved to using special super user accounts for admin access on most of our services and all of our critical services. Those super user accounts don't have email access and they can't be used to directly log into a workstation. So you're always escalating to them. Second, we didn't have good anti-malware on our Windows desktops or servers. Since it was kind of a late comer to our field and Macintoshes rarely get attacked still, we had gotten lazy. So we've now installed anti-malware. We use Malwarebytes on our desktops, which we really love, and Carbon Black for our servers. And we have put in place several processes to make sure every instant that they record gets checked. Nothing gets overlooked because it could be just the tip of the iceberg coming through. Third, and this is kind of embarrassing, we had the same local admin account on every server and another one the same on every Windows desktop. And, it seems obvious looking back that that's a bad idea, but it's one of those things that we kept going, oh yeah, we got to fix that. And then an emergency hits and it's off your mind for a while and such, and there's no shortage of emergencies. So when one account got compromised, all of the desktops were compromised because that one local admin account got out. And that just meant that it went through us like wildfire. It didn't take them 4 hours to hit every machine that was awake. So we have switched to a service on our servers that generates different passwords for every server for the local account and rotates them regularly. So you have to log into the service to find out what the current password is for the server you want to connect to. We've also stopped having accounts assigned as domain admins, which had been a practice. So we just sit at domain admin level all the time. Instead, you have to elevate your account now if you want to do domain admin work, which is also kind of nice. It's made it more clear what we're doing. And a lot of times you don't need to be domain admin to do that. A lot of the work can be done with lesser permissions. The fourth thing we did, we upgraded our backup service. And we could have hardened Veeam, but we decided to move away from a Windows-based service altogether just to maybe be a little safer. So we have a new service that works great. It's got built-in encryption that we hadn't enabled on Veeam yet. And our whole online service for trying to create not an air gap, but maybe a technology gap backup does a much better job of that. It'll never hold the connection open. And we've put, along with that, a lot more intentional thought into what gets backed up. It had been just the system and the database, but now we're realizing we need registration keys, we need activation codes, whatever it takes to actually put that software back into operational status. And we didn't have some of that. It was a lot of work getting, the latest license from some of our vendors, mostly because some of the software hadn't been renewed for 10 or 12 years. It's still working. We don't need to buy a new copy.
Right.
And then last, we made changes to our email service to really try and address that first wave of attack that we were told. So we put headers on messages that came from outside of the district to make it clear in staff, this is not us. You better wonder if it's got our name on it because we didn't send it. We invested in better mail filtering, bought into Microsoft's Advanced Threat Protection, it was called then, but it's part of their A5 package. So they actually explode every attachment inside their own services to check it before it comes through to us. And we invested in a product called KnowBe4 that helps to train staff on phishing and scams, actually sends out fake emails and then helps them understand what about it they should have recognized was false.